In our interview, Mrs. Mariam Owais talks about the impact of the federal government's social investment program. You recall there have been reports of fraud and diversion surrounding this program. She tells us more. Mrs. Mariam Owais, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, let's begin with an explanation into the reports of fraud, corruption and racketeering in the social investment program. What actually is the true picture on this?
Reality is we have achieved tremendous successes in the program. We set up frameworks and the states have bought into it. But because of the size of this country, there are disruptions in one or two states that we've actually been able to nip in the bud. One or two states have tried to maybe take advantage of the levels of literacy. We have women that we're paying directly into their accounts, but they don't understand how to use account numbers. So this is the reason why I mentioned it when I was asked the other day, and unfortunately that seemed to be the spin that was given to it. We have over 7 million beneficiaries on our program, and so it is unfortunate that that is the spin, because it just gives the impression that we are not achieving anything.
What sort of monitoring mechanism would you say you have in place?
Well, at the moment we've got third-party monitors, civil society that we've selected, and they are aware. I've met with them. ActionAid has been conducting due diligence. There's one civil society organization per state that has demonstrated it has community-based facilitators, organizations affiliated to it. So we're about to embark on the training. But apart from that, the DSS offered and we engaged them. So they are our invisible eyes. You know, they give us reports every month on what is going on in the states.
Sorry to cut you, but this CSO, are they present in the state you mentioned?
Yes, we've got a report.
In the particular case?
Yes, we got a report. We're not asking them to conduct any arrests. We're asking them to give us feedback on what is actually happening so that we're able to address it. Nigerians can be ingenious, you know, so there are things that you don't imagine would happen. So they quickly let us know. You know, in that same state, for instance,
which is in the northeast? Or
no, it's not in the northeast. It's not in the northeast. I don't want to
say
because it's been addressed. You know, as soon as I told the governor this was what was going on, he had them removed because that's two people in the state, and they're being subjected to investigation. They've been called, and he's replaced them, and we've continued feeding in that state. So it was just a matter of removing two people who were trying to see how they could exploit the vulnerabilities of those cooks.
You say there are 80 million poor people in Nigeria?
80.
80 million?
80, yes, 80.
So how are you able to confirm this?
There's a world poverty clock that is an objective thing. We check on it often, and it says, for instance, we need to graduate 11 people out of poverty every minute in Nigeria for us to be able to grow out of poverty. So we're using such mechanisms that are actually universal to see how we can work and address the issue of poverty in this country. It's really massive. It's really massive. And it's not something that happened 6 years ago or 10 years ago. There are wide disparities between people that are really poor and people that are even middle class. So the kind of people that we're actually paying are people that haven't seen 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira in a month. And they are so grateful for the amount of money. They get 10,000 naira a month. And they're doing wonderful things, amazing things, you know, changing their homes. We're not just paying them, we're having them form cooperatives. For every ward, we have a community facilitator. Yeah. So I did mention that we have 2,700 odd community facilitators so far, and each ward has anything between 1 and 12 communities. So those community facilitators actually train these women. They have them form cooperatives and they train them on financial skills. They hold their hands, they give them information on nutrition. So it's not just the money, it's also helping them to, begin to save. So they have group savings and they're able to optimize whatever it is they get.
You see, with this staggering figure, 80 million people, and this is a mandate, that the president hopes to, pay to. But looking at 15.8% of 1 trillion naira scheduled for this program.
900 million.
Okay, scheduled for this program that has been released in the last 2 years. Does it really speak well of a government who looks determined to, wipe out poverty, at least on an appreciable level?
Well, the challenge has been the revenue that comes in. So we cannot get money that is not there. So every month there's a cash planning committee that sits down and sorts out who gets what. So this is the reason why I'm sure if you go to the other ministries, they get something in that region in terms of percentage. But more and more, we're getting we've been assured that at least by next month we will get enough. The thing is, it's capital and recurrent.
What do you mean by enough?
At least we'll be able to launch our N-Power. We have 300,000 that are waiting to be engaged. So we're hoping that by next month we'll be able to engage them in phases, because we have to be realistic. We've come out of a recession, and the money coming in for the economists, they know we have infrastructure, but we have salaries to pay, we have so many ambitions to fulfill, so we just need to keep at it.
So over 7.8 million people have benefited from the program, you say?
Yes.
Give us a breakdown.
Well, for now we have like 200,000 graduates that are on the program. We have 70,000 cooks, or 60-odd thousand cooks. We have smallholder farmers that are buying. We mapped the farmers through the N-Agro that we have around the vicinities of the primary schools to align what they grow with what the cooks cook. For every state has its own menu, and that menu comprises of food that is affordable and accessible in that state. But we ensure that it has the basic nutritional content. We have 7 million plus children that are actually being fed today on around 20 states or 22 states by next week. What I keep saying and what I'm excited about is in every community that we're in, we're getting the information about the access roads. A lot of them is bush paths. The nearest primary school, the nearest secondary school, nearest primary healthcare center, nearest payment service provider, connectivity issues. All of these issues combine to support the community out of poverty. So it's not just the payments and the training, it's the fact that if there's no primary school within 3 kilometers, no child is going to go to school. And we're finding some communities like that don't have primary schools. And what is gratifying is when you share this information with the governors, they're very willing, because they are mandated to do the infrastructure. We aren't.
Special Advisor to the President on Social Investment Program. Thank you for joining us on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for your mails and tweets as always. Keep sending in your views and comments using the address and the email on your screen. And don't forget, you can share anything happening within your locality. You can also view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. See you again.